Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone and viewers and dear Ma'am Edita Yalda. We would like to explain our team's research and where we make this PowerPoint to explain to you about the genocide case analysis and the examination of Palestine and Rohingya. First of all, myself, Muhammad Balim Fauzan Laduni, will explain the introductions where we will explain about the Israeli-Palestine conflicts and Rohingya crisis. First of all, there are Israeli and Palestinian conflict where it started from October 7th of 2023 until today is still ongoing. And the background is the following of October 2023. Hamas attack, Israel launched a military campaign in Gaza. And as of early 2026, over 70,000 Palestinians have been killed, and the vast majority of them being civilians, including a high proportion of women and children, where the key actor of this is the state of Israel, which is the IDF, and Palestinian civilian populations, Hamas, international bodies like International Court of Justice and the UN councils. Now, the Rohingya crisis in Myanmar, it started from the decade of persecution, 2017 military campaigns, and ICJ hearing began in January 2026. The background is the Rohingya, a Muslim minority in Myanmar's Rakhine state, faced systematic prosecution culminating from the massive military operation in 2016 to 2017, displacing over 700,000 people to Bangladesh and many other countries, including Indonesia, actually. So the key actor here are Myanmar military, Rohingya population, government of Myanmar, and other international bodies, such as the UNHCR. Now, continuing to our explanation, now we like to explain what genocide really means. In this case, genocide means any of the following acts committed with the intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group, which is Article 2 of the 1948 Convention of the Prevention of Punishment of the Crimes of Genocide. This includes killing members, causing serious bodily harm and mental harm, deliberately inflicting conditions calculated to bring about physical destructions, preventing birth, forcibly transferring children, which mirrored in Article 6 of the Rome Statute. Now, the core element of the crime is first of all, the guilt act or actus reus, which is the physical act listed in the convention, such as killing, inflicting destructions, conditions, etc. The guilty mind, which is mens rea, general intent to commit physical acts in question. So we need the intention to really harm others before it can be called genocidal act. And the specific intent, or dolus specialis, which is the intent to destroy the groups as such. This distinguishes genocide from other crimes against humanity, which the most difficult element to prove in the court of law. Now, the challenge of specific intent is the International Court of Justice has never held a state liable for genocide. This is largely because proving dolus specialis presents an exceptionally high evidentiary bar. Since explicit admission of genocidal intent is rare, international tribunals intend from surrounding circumstances, such as systematic pattern of coordinated conduct against the group, the massive scale and nature of the atrocities committed, etc. So the next explanation will be the case analysis of Gaza and Palestine, which will be explained by Anggun. And Anggun, the stage is yours.
All right, thank you very much, Balian. So basically, let me introduce myself first. My name is Rani Anggun Mentari. So here's I'm gonna explain to you about case analysis of Gaza and Palestine. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. So basically, for the accessories for these cases is basically this case is killing over 7,000 documented deaths for the majority of being civilians, and also for the serious harm there is 171 injured. Gaza has the world highest rate of child amputees per capita, over 21 children disabled. And then there's also conditions for the destructions, which are obliterations of civilian infrastructure and healthcare, which are blocking of aid resulting in deliberate starvations. And for the mens rea or the intent, so the official recognitions of UN Special Committee Commissions of Inquiry and international associations of genocide scholars recognize the situations of genocide. And for the rhetoric, there is the Amnesty International documented 102 statement by Israeli officials containing dehumanizing rhetoric between October 2023 to June 2024. And also for the military strategy, there are military spokesperson states the focus was on maximum damage, not the better than accuracy. Next slide. And for the counter or arguments and current legal status of this case is basically the targeting distinctions is the Israel argues that military operations are strictly targeted at Hamas combatants and infrastructure, not the Palestinian populations as a protected group. And then for the proportionality for the intent, defense argument distinguish between potentially excessive military force, which may violate laws of war, and specific genocidal intent to destroy a populace. And then there are civilians warning for the presence of warning evacuations orders and also safe zones despite disputes over their effectiveness are cited as evidence countering an intent to destroy. And then for the ICJ status, the ICJ has ordered professional measures, but a final ruling on the merits is pending. The absolute legal threshold for proving specific intent and formal adjudications remain unmet at this stage. Next slide. And for the next analyze, going to be represented by my friend Hamim. To Hamim, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time. My name is Hamim Ramadan. So first, I'm gonna explain about fulfilling the elements in Rohingya crisis. In this crisis, the serious is mass killings during 2017 military operation by the Tatmadaw and systematic sexual violence used as weapon of war, widespread destruction and burning of entire villages, forced displacement of over 700,000 people to Bangladesh. Mens Rea and proceeding United Nations Fact-Finding Mission 2018 formally concluded genocide had occurred based on systematic attacks, decades of discriminatory policies, denial of citizenship, movement restriction, and marriage law. ICC action is unprecedented arrest warrant issue against Myanmar military official for genocide. Next slide, please. Comparative analysis of the cases in Gaza and Palestine. Protected group is Palestinian National Group. In Rohingya is Rohingya, which is ethnic and religious group. Scale and displacement in Gaza is 70,000 dead and 2 million internally displaced. In Rohingya, thousands of deaths, like 7,000 of death and 700,000 displaced to BD. Intent evidence is official statement and destruction pattern at Gaza, Palestine. In Rohingya is systematic campaign and decade of discriminatory policies. ICJ case status is in Gaza and Palestine is South Africa and Israel. In case was merits pending. In Rohingya crisis is Gambia, and Myanmar hearing ongoing in January 2026. The involvement of ICC is in Gaza, Palestine was limited direct ICC action regarding state, and in Rohingya crisis, arrest warrant issued for Myanmar military officials. Next slide, please. So the challenge in proving genocide was the evidentiary bar. Dulu specialis is the highest legal bar in international law, proving specific intent to destroy, not just reckless disregard or war crimes, require airtight documentation that is rarely explicit. And the evidence and access that active conflict zone make a real-time documentation highly difficult. Furthermore, state actors rarely cooperate with independent international investigation, leading to destruction, destroyed or hidden evidence. And the last challenge in proving genocide was geopolitical shielding, that legal accountability is often hampered by political dimensions. Powerful state or permanent member of the UN Security Council can veto resolution or shield allies from meaningful consequences. And the role of international institutions that ICG or World Court is adjudicates dispute between states while it can issue binding judgment and provisional measures. It inherently lack a direct enforcement mechanism, relying heavily on international pressure and state compliance. ICC that prosecutes individual, not states, for international crimes. It relies completely on state cooperation for arrest or requires the UN Security Council referrals, which limit its operational effectiveness. UN, both body and civil society, fact-finding mission, special reporters, and NGO provide the crucial documentation required for legal case. They build the narrative of accountability even when formal mechanisms stall. Next slide, please. Okay, maybe we skip the question and discussion session. Thank you for the time and place.
Thank you, Hamim, and thank you, Anggun. Those are the slides and the explanation that we had for this specific presentation. We hope you understand what we are trying to communicate in this PowerPoint. And I hope you all have a good day. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.